You know it's important to make your home more energy efficient, but you might not know that there are builders who are making energy efficiency their new standard. And today we'll meet one of those builders.
We'll follow the steps to building a new home from design to moving in. Plus, we'll give you some tips to find an energy efficient builder.
PowerHouse, presented by Alliant Energy.
Alliant Energy, we're on for you.
Meet Nick and Justine Davis. Their family's getting larger, so they need a new home. But they didn't want to move into just any home. They wanted to make sure it was energy efficient, and the best way to do that is build it. Why is it important for you two to be green?
Well, there are two reasons why we wanted to be green. The first one was we wanted to save money. We don't want to spend money on heat that's just being sent out the window. And secondly, we wanted to do what we felt was best for the environment. And we felt that if we could do both those things at the same time, we would happily do so.
Now, there's a lot of things you can do in a home to make it perform better, and you chose some specific upgrades. Talk about those upgrades that you have here in your house.
So we have insulation on the outside of the foundation of the home, which helps control the heat flow in and out of the house in the heat in the summer and the winter time. But my favorite feature are these bathroom fans that are on a timer system, and you can control just by pushing a button, turning the fan off after 5 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever you would like. In our previous home, the bathroom fans didn't have a timer on them, and I either wouldn't turn them on because I was afraid that if I turned it on, I would forget about it, and so the bathroom would be very moist then and very unpleasant, or I would turn the bathroom fan on and I would forget about it, and I would come back an hour or 2 hours later having pulled a lot of nice warm heat out of the house and having wasted energy on the electric fan for 2 hours. So we really like that feature a lot.
Let's talk about the costs that come with really being energy efficient in your building and your thought process.
So initially, we were concerned when we saw all these great green features that were added into the home. We thought it would cost us a lot more money to do it. But when we investigated with other builders and other technologies that weren't certified as being environmentally friendly, we found out that it didn't cost us any more to do what was right and what would lower our bills. And so we have a furnace that's very energy efficient and quiet for the same price as a furnace of lower efficiency. Our air conditioner, incredibly efficient and quiet, with an equally long 10-year warranty on it, and didn't cost us any more. So what we really appreciate was the builder went out and researched these technologies for us. They found what were the best and then suggested those to us.
And you have in here, you have dual zone heating and cooling. In terms of how does that play into keeping the house comfortable yet energy efficient?
I think it's one of my favorite features of the new house. Our heating bills, we can keep it warm down here during the summer and cool upstairs where we sleep and we like it cool. And our energy bills have been the same in our old house, and this one's quite a bit bigger.
But let's talk a little bit about the process. What kind of homeowners were you? I mean, a lot of people are really involved with their builder and they like to be a part of the entire process, and then there are others that are kind of more hands-off.
Well, what we liked,
very hands-on.
Yeah, I was very hands-on, and what we liked about that process is that with our builder, it was good either way. They invited us to ask as many questions as we wanted during the building process, and we did. And our building manager, Dave Everett, would answer the questions for us, and on the rare occasion where he didn't know the answer, he would research the answer with specialists and come back to us the next day with a satisfactory response for us. When I was curious about how some of these energy efficient technologies were implemented, Dave was more than happy to come out to the house as many times as I asked him to meet with me and show me and explain to me how they were doing things, so it wasn't just a line on a piece of paper. Now, we have neighbors who weren't nearly as involved with the process, but interestingly, their home turned out to have just as much attention to detail and be just as energy efficient as ours. So either way, I think you come out ahead.
It's important to find the right builder when you want to create a super efficient home from the bottom up. You may be fine with just seeing plans, but it's helpful to find a builder that can show you exactly what you're getting. Utility programs like Focus on Energy in Wisconsin and Alliant Energy's dealer locator in Iowa can help you find an energy smart builder. Before they broke ground on their house, the Davis family met with their builder team, and that's who we're meeting with right now. Dave Everett from Viridian Homes joins us. And Dave, walking around your showroom, I see lots of great options. So where do you start?
Where we start at Viridian Homes is with our new home specialist. The new home specialist educates the homeowner on all the different components that go in and out of the house. The most exciting things are the granite tops and the lovely flooring and that kind of thing. But they also focus on energy or the energy efficiency components of our homes.
So how do they find a builder that will do the kinds of things that you do? Or if they've already selected their builder, how do they know that they're in fact going to deliver a home that will focus on energy efficiency?
Great question. Our program requires a third-party inspection. And so there's 3 different times that the independent energy specialist goes through the home and certifies that it is being built per the specifications. Then the home buyer knows that they're getting what they're paying for.
As you zero in even more in terms of for that new homeowner, key things that you want to make sure that that new homeowner is getting in that house?
One thing that I'm most excited about is the core bond insulation in the floor system. Years ago, we used to, and it was the best practices, we used to pack batt insulation into that cavity space that was directly exposed to the outside cold. In the basement, it's usually higher humidity. With that humidity in the basement, if that batt insulation does not stop the moisture from the inside, it will have a tendency to condensate on the back side of that floor structure. So now with the core bond closed cell insulation, it stops that moisture and protects that wood and insulates it, seals off more air than it ever did before, and really, to me, from my experience, is one of the key components that we offer.
Does that make building a green home more affordable nowadays than it did, say, 10 years ago?
Absolutely. As we make more of a commitment to that energy efficiency, and it almost becomes a reflex that we're committed to the program. We work with our trade partners, they buy into it, it makes sense, it's the right thing to do. That's when you get those quantities or those efficiencies in numbers to make it more economical than it would have been in years prior.
Dave, thanks a lot. A lot of great information. Now let's head out to the home site and see all this put in place.
True or false? Green building refers only to the energy efficient improvements in the construction of new homes.
Alliant Energy, we're on for you.
True or false? Green building refers only to the energy efficient improvements in the construction of new homes. The answer is false. Besides finding energy efficient solutions, a green builder also uses processes that protect the surrounding environment when building a home.
We've learned how builders build homes green, but what's the process from blueprint to completion?
We're here today at a home under construction, and this is Curtis Anderson. And Curtis, you play a big role in ensuring that this house will be as energy efficient as it can possibly be. And your formal job title is Energy Rater and Performance Consultant. What does that mean, and what do you do?
Well, a consultant will work with the builder from the planning stages through completion. We model the house using all the features per plans, windows, doors, attic, and we can model that. From that, we can get the estimated efficiency of the house.
What does that mean when you model something?
We use a computer program, RemRate. All the inputs are entered into the computer, and that program will provide us with all the energy numbers.
Now, Curtis, we're in a house that looks just kind of framed in right now in the beginning stages in here. So where does your role come in, and what do you, when you come into a house like this, what are you looking for in terms of energy efficiency?
Well, in my opinion, the framing stage is the most important. This is a stage that you can actually see in the walls. You can find gaps. You see light, it's going to leak.
So Curtis, when you come in here, then you're looking for holes and gaps up in the trestles and along those things?
Yes, construction lumber is not uniform. So there will be gaps regardless of who constructs the house. And that is my focus when I come here at the first stage.
Okay, so if this is stage one, you've also lined up several other homes for us to see today, and we'll move from home to home, and you can kind of walk us through the process.
Let's go take a look.
All right, Curtis, we saw the first phase, which is pretty rough looking. And what do you call the second stage of construction?
Well, the second stage that I evaluate a house is at insulation. I go in and I check to make sure that the walls are insulated properly and that the insulator's properly sealed all the framework.
Which brings us to now. We're standing here.
Yeah, we're in a home that's completed, the third stage. When you come in here, what are some of the tests that you're doing in here?
Well, the main test is the blower door that checks for air leakage on the house. I do other tests including bath fan, CFM tests. I do a duct blaster test, depressurization test, a multitude of tests.
So at this point in this kind of final phase, what's your objective?
My objective is really to measure the house and see how well it did according to our earlier predictions, as well as finding any problem areas that the homeowner would be concerned about.
And again, you're putting that report together to the builder before the homeowner would close on this house and make some final corrections?
Yes, everything that I do is documented and all recommendations are made and sent to the builder so that they can act upon it.
All right, Curtis, let's talk a little bit about the ratings that you give a home.
Yes, on a HERS index you want a low number.
How about our friends the Davises? How did their home fare?
Their house did very well. It had a HERS index of 52.
And again, you were on that from the initial stage right all the way to the completion, right?
Every step of the way.
How does that translate into savings?
Well, basically, versus the same home built to just meet code, their house saves them $800 a year.
Thank you so much. This is good information.
You bet. And it's neat to see, again, the energy rater, what you bring over into the energy efficiency as we look at the building processes we talk about from blueprint to completion. The rating system used to assign an energy efficiency value to a home is called his, hers, ours, or theirs.
Alliant Energy, we're on for you.
The rating system used to assign an energy efficiency value to a home is called his, hers, ours, or theirs. The answer is hers. Home energy rating system. A standard new home is considered to have a rating of 100. A rating of 0 would indicate you own a net zero home, which means your home uses as much energy as it produces.
Welcome back to PowerHouse. Air quality and circulation are key factors in making these newly built, tight homes both comfortable and healthy. And that's why we're here at the April Air plant, where they specialize in ventilation systems.
That's right, Megan. We'll be getting a tour of the manufacturing process and find out how to pick out the right ventilation system for your home. Joining us now is Mark Marquillo, the training manager for April Air.
Now, Mark, what does ventilation have to do with energy efficiency?
Well, I think you said it just prior. You said that with houses being built tighter and closer, we want to make sure that we have indoor air quality to make the homes comfortable. You know, the energy savings is already there. You know, one of the largest costs of your home is your heating and cooling expenses. So with homes being built super tight, pretty much shrink wrapped, if you will, we have a problem getting fresh air in and getting stale air out. And as you know, the air outside is actually much better than the air inside your house. So in an effort, you know, because you've invested a lot of money in energy savings with a tight home construction, you don't want to pay the price on the other side by just having bad air in the home and no way to get it out of your house.
Okay, so Mark, we understand that you make energy recovery ventilators here in this plant, right?
Yeah, we actually do over in our ventilation section. You guys want to go take a quick look?
You bet.
Okay.
Now, Mark, our viewers may hear energy recovery ventilator and say, gee, I don't have that. But now, again, it's not one size fits all for everybody, right?
No, Pete, that's a good question, and the answer is absolutely not. You know, at April Air, we make 8 or 9 different types of ventilation systems, and energy recovery ventilator is just one of them. Many of the systems, however, just involve a damper, which opens and closes and brings fresh air into your house so that you can exhaust existing air, and it uses your heating and cooling system to do a lot of the work that the energy recovery ventilator does. And we make a lot of dampers in our ventilation products. If you guys like, I can take you over that line. We can take a look at it.
You bet. Let's go.
Okay. Okay, so what you guys are going to see behind us is this is our power damper production facility. You know, these guys are making 20 or 25 different sized power dampers to the tune of almost 100,000 a year.
So, Mark, our viewers may be wondering, why do I need a power damper at my home?
Well, here, let me, maybe by looking at it, it'll make more sense. You know, with these tightly built homes today, which are wonderful and save us a lot of money, what we don't have is the ability to get fresh air in and bad air out. So what a power damper means is it's basically a pipe, if you will, that has access to the outside air. And there's a little damper, or you can see a little valve inside here, that just opens and closes it when we want to bring in some fresh air. And it keep it closed to keep out, you know, critters and bad things, but they're extremely important in getting fresh air into your home.
Okay, now talk about how you address humidity with that, because air is air, but it's not just about temperature, right?
Exactly. You know, one of the things when we're pulling in fresh air, we're kind of at Mother Nature's mercy if it's really dry outside or really humid. So how do we address that? Now, Aprilaire is an indoor air quality company, and we understand it's a lot more than temperature control, which we talked about on the ERV. Well, the benefit of something like this is as we bring in outside air, now we can condition the air in the house with our humidifiers or our dehumidifiers. And we're pretty close to the humidifier line if you guys want to go take a look at those.
Good.
Okay, great. Okay, so what you guys are going to see behind us, this is our humidifier production line. And we talked before about humidity control when we were talking about the ERV. And we talked also about when you have a damper to bring in fresh air, a lot of times the fresh air you bring in, particularly here in Wisconsin or the Midwest, is dry air. So by treating that air with humidification, that also is very effective, and same with summertime too. In the summertime, if your damper, as we showed you before, is bringing in humid air, you know, we also make dehumidification products that address that. So ventilation is really threefold.
Okay, and this is basically your signature piece for Aprilaire, right? What
Yeah,
you're known for?
Absolutely. I mean, an Aprilaire, just the name itself refers to a humidifier in many places in the country.
Now, Mark, are there signs that our homeowners can look for in terms of the need to improve their ventilation in their homes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can just stand in any room in a house and look around. Either you're going to see mold, or you're going to see mildew building up on grills down south. In the winter in the Midwest, your skin is going to get dry. You're going to get a bloody nose. You're going to get a shock when you touch the doorknob. You may, in the summertime, you may walk down that basement and it's clearly there's an odor thing going on down there. So yeah, if odors linger in your home for a long time and you're having issues with your skin and your hair, absolutely those are warning signs that you need to get some fresh air in there.
And Mark, in terms of expense on this, we're not talking a huge expense to add this ventilation into your home.
It is so much lower than most people think. I mean, by controlling humidity in a home and bringing fresh air in, we're only talking matters of hundreds of dollars. But in any case, when you get to use these products in your home, it allows you to adjust the temperature significantly up or down. So really, if you think about it, proper ventilation with humidification and dehumidification, by making you more comfortable, allows you to save money. And they typically do after 8 or 9 years. This kind of stuff pays for itself.
Great. So it makes you more comfortable, healthier. It's really a win situation, isn't it?
Absolutely, you're right.
Thanks so much. Interesting tour.
You bet. Stay with us, or we're going to meet back up with the Davis family and learn more about living in a green-built home.
Did you know that the materials used in building a new home contain a significant amount of water that must escape during the first year? How much water is in the building materials of a new 2,000 square foot home? A, 600 pounds, B, 6,000 pounds, or C, 6 tons.
Alliant Energy, we're on for you.
How much water is in the building materials of a new 2,000 square foot home? According to the U.S. Department of Energy, 6 tons of water is in the materials used to buy a new 2,000 square foot home. We're now back at the Davis home, and Nick and Justine, you've lived here almost a year. Mm-hmm. What would you say has been the biggest benefit so far of building a green home like this?
It's hard to bring it down to one single benefit. Overall, the home is just more comfortable. It costs us less money to heat and cool. It's less maintenance to take care of. It's all automated. We're just really pleased that the green technologies have also saved us money and effort.
And that's one of the neat things, again, when you compare it to your old home. Sounds like some real energy savings.
It was a real surprise. We moved in here in February. It was very cold, and we thought the heating bills would be substantially higher because this house is about 40% larger than our previous home. However, what we found out is that our heating bills were approximately the same as they were in a much smaller, older home. And in summertime, we had a much more pleasant surprise in that our air conditioning bills, and we like to keep the house very cool in summertime, were actually lower in this larger home than they were in our previous smaller home.
So you weren't expecting that?
No, not at all, but we'll take it. Anytime we can save money and have increased comfort in the home, we're very happy about that.
Right.
Anything over the past year? I mean, any, maybe either way, surprising things that you've seen in the past year?
I think that the big surprise is that it hasn't been that hard to get accommodated to the new greener technologies. We have this automated thermostat which sets itself for evenings, weekends, mornings, whatever we'd like. The only surprise is that it was less work to take care of the green technologies than it was to take care of the older technologies.
Now, what would you say if you had to pick one favorite thing about making this decision and moving to this particular house? It doesn't have to be energy related, it could be comfort related.
I think it's just nice that we have a little bit more room than we did in our old house, now that there's 4 of us, and the 2 boys are going to be as big, if not bigger than him, in not too many years, so we just feel a lot more comfortable and we have a lot more space for everybody.
Right, and it sounds like as far as utilities go, it's not that big of a shift.
Not at all.
So it makes it affordable to have that in that regard.
Right.
Great.
Well, again, Justine and Nick, thanks for letting us come in and follow you along in this building process. It's been fascinating.
It was our pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thanks.
You know, Pete, it's amazing what new energy-efficient homes have to offer homeowners in terms of cost savings, comfort, peace of mind.
It really is, Megan. You know, the partnership between the builder and the energy rater helped every step of the way and made sure Nick and Justine got exactly what they thought they were getting in their house.
And we also had the opportunity to see the important role that proper ventilation plays for new houses.
And with the benefits that Nick and Justine saw over the last year, it's no wonder why more people are choosing to build with energy efficiency in mind.
And it's just another reason to make your house a powerhouse.
Megan's wardrobe provided by Dress Barn.